All right.
He looks like he's all set.
Yeah. So hi, my name is Craig Maloney. I'm a Happy Bookie user. I also do a little bit of gaming on the side. And in 2010, I had a presentation about the state of Linux
Sounds like
gaming.
gambling.
And prior to 2010, I mean, you could pretty much count the number of Linux games on your hands. I mean, anything that wasn't in BSD games, that wasn't Tux Racer, that wasn't any of the Loki games. I mean, it was pretty minimal. So Sherman, let's set the Wayback Machine for 2010. And this was pretty much, this is someone else's a menu, but as you can see, there are a few things. I mean, the first Humble Bundle had started, so you got things like Aquaria, Gish, Lugaroo, Heroes of New Earth, Nexuiz was a popular one, the Penumbra series, which is really cool. And of course you have to have a NetHack up there because why not? And World of Goo. So what happened in there? Something happened. Pretty sure it wasn't aliens that happened. First thing that happened was, of course, Humble Bundles. And these are awesome. Humble Bundles are a way for you to get about 6 to 8 games for a pay whatever you want price. Depending on the average price, if you pay more than the average, you get a whole bunch of stuff. It started in May of 2010. Most of the titles had Linux versions. At that time, all of the stuff had Linux versions on it. And it was no DRM, which is a huge win. They still don't have DRM on most of the Humble Bundles that are out there, except for a few here and there. And it was a huge success, unbelievable success. They had about $1 million worth in sales. What they learned, Linux users will pay for games. Who knew? Because we didn't spend all this money on our OS, we have some money laying around. Roughly, for most of the Humble Bundles I have seen, there's about usually anywhere between $8 to $10 is what Linux users will pay for. A couple of them gave like, $1,337, of course. At the first one, Wolfire Games found that Linux users paid around $14 in the first Humble Bundle. So that was awesome. So if you want to learn more about the Humble Bundles, first off, you can go to humblebundle.com, or you can check out their Wikipedia page. They have a good history of all the different Humble Bundles that have been out there, usually kept up to date. They've now started something called a Daily Humble Bundle, which is, well, it's screechingly horrible for me, but great for them. There are some other contributing factors as well. How many of you dissed Mono back in the day? Raise your hand. Because Microsoft was going to do bad things to us. They were going to patent the living daylights out of everything. They were going to bring down the entire ecosystem. Well, guess what? They didn't. In fact, in all of the Humble Bundles, you can see here, and these are just a sampling of all the Humble Bundles that are out there, Mono has been a contributing factor into actually getting games over to Linux. Because it is cross-platform, developers can target the Mono platform and have it run under Windows and Android and a whole bunch of other different things. So that has been a very big factor. Java, not quite so much. Java pretty much fell off of the radar of most developers, except for Google, who's now getting sued because of Java, but we won't go there.
Isn't that the .NET platform?
So this is a list of those. You can find those over at this gist as well. Another reason, Canonical. As much as we like to berate Canonical, they have done huge strides in getting gaming over onto Linux. For starters, you had the software store, which you can purchase games from, which you can also, for a limited time, you could download and install the Humble Bundle games that you purchased over on the Ubuntu store. But they did one other thing, and this is huge. This is like, holy crap, tilt the wheels, awesome, huge. And that is called Steam. How many of you have heard of Steam? How many of you are using Steam? How many of you are using Steam under Linux? Awesome, cool. Yeah, Steam was a pretty big deal. And Canonical had a part in getting that over there. Valve Software, of course, not really huge fans of Microsoft anymore. They're working on their own platform. Most of the Humble Bundle games are available under Steam. And I'm using Humble Bundle in the sense that, because that's where I buy most of my games, is via Humble Bundles. I mean, basically about once every few months, I'll dump some cash in Humble Bundle. Steam Box is Valve's attempt to try and wrest away control away from Microsoft and create their own console device for the living room. If George were here, I'd ask you to ask him, but just go find George Castro and ask him about Steambox. He also had a presentation at PyMuCon. Yes?
Is Steambox a distro?
It is a distro. It's a hardware specification, and there's a bunch of things. I don't know a whole lot about it personally, but from what I understand, it's a specification. It's a distro. It's a controller. It's just a bundle of awesome. Another thing too is SDL has been improving. SDL is a simple direct media layer. It was one of the earliest gaming libraries, if you will. It did multimedia stuff. It keeps on banging the drum, keeps on progressing, which is awesome. A lot of commercial engines have also been targeting Linux. Unigine is one that has been around for a while. There's a lot of really cool demos in that. They've also ported a game over called Oil Rush, which will crush this machine, so I won't show you what that game is, but check it out. Unity 3D also is targeting Linux. So a lot of things, because people have realized that Linux is a platform that can be targeted, and because we're vocal bastards, people are starting to actually make ports for games in that. Crytek, I'm not sure if it's out or if it's forthcoming, but that's a huge engine. And Unreal Engine 4 is also forthcoming. What's interesting about the Unreal Engine 4 is that, from my understanding, Epic Games decided to go to a free-to-play model. You pay a $20 subscription and you get the access to the source code and whatnot. Apparently people took this as a challenge and ported over Unreal Engine 4 to Linux practically within, if not hours, and at least days from their announcement. So there is going to be Unreal Engine games, I'm sure, under Linux. So, Unreal Tournament. So let's show some games, if we will. Let me go over to a different desktop here. I'm going to bring up my handy dandy Steam and hope to God that nothing breaks, because it's a live demo.
It's this guy.
Yep. Now, this isn't an actual gaming machine. It's a very underpowered laptop. So if things look kind of funky on here, it's because this has got a very underpowered CPU with a very mediocre graphics card running ATI. So bear with me.
I think mediocre graphics is a little bit.
No, it's got decent graphics. You'll be surprised. So here I am in Steam. To my library, I have a few pre-canned versions. Let me start off with this one. This is called Drox Operative, which is a new-ish game. Don't think I need a key. So.
Unbox section time. It's a special feature.
Creating a sector. So what this will do is this will create a sector for me, and you can go fly around. Colony ship. I'm not familiar with you. And you can trade with folks. I don't really have anything to trade at this moment. Here. Go float around here. Welcome to human space. Okay. Rock and roll. And you explore these rather large galaxies, solar systems, if you will, and try and make contact with them and get them to trade with you, get them to attack each other. Basically, there's several different ways to win these things. Oh, here's something to blow
Feels like advanced asteroids. Yeah, I just want to asteroids.
Okay, so that's that game. I'm gonna. So that's a very fun game. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah.
How many of you have heard of a game called Fez? Fez, if you ever see the movie Indie Game the Movie, Fez's development is outlined in that movie. It's by a gentleman by the name of Phil Fish. I think this game pretty much set him over the edge in this movie. And at least, if he wasn't already over the edge, it was a contributing factor. But it's a beautiful game. I'm going to start a new game. Please don't goof off. Oh, bugger.
Send a bug report.
Come on, try it again. Be good to me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's see if I can figure out what's going on. The joys of a live demo.
You installed 14,
I've got it on my little laptop.
Well,
yeah?
Yeah,
you
just
should be
like
glad that the audience is
Okay.
small, otherwise you wouldn't have
I've
even
got it on
got what you
customer
had.
Yeah, servers
all
I'm
right.
not really using yet.
Is it running under Steam?
Yeah, let's see. Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Yay! Let's start an empty slot here. The game starts off in 2D. And if I can play this quickly enough, let's see if I can show you the 3D version. Yada, yada, this is Oops. Whatever, go away. Don't care. Come on. All right, well, what I will do is I will show you at least the, I'm not gonna be able to show you the punchline, I don't think, in time. Let's see.
Color correction or whatever it is.
That screen's dark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's such a white screen.
Oop. Okay, so walk it from the mailbox. Control, your mail, your Gomez, blah, blah. Alright. Jump around. And I'm not gonna go into each of these rooms and whatnot. I'm just gonna try and see if I can get it in here. Bugger. All right, well, I'm gonna go in this room. It's a room.
We're at the kitchen.
Looks like you could have ate.
George is now playing toy soldier.
There you go.
This works great. Yeah. It just plugs into it.
Is it by just an RCA jack down there? Cause I see it's got
Yeah, I see that.
up there, an adapter.
Left and right.
Yeah. Something is RCA jacks down there.
Could be.
We got real long. Oh. I'm not sure I have, I might have the adapter to go to.
Oh, it's cool.
Basically, you can't understand anything that's right there, right?
Yeah, it looks like those two. Oh, Tetris. That sounds like an old phone.
That wasn't desired behavior.
I guess not. Wow.
No, I apologize for that.
I'm not quite sure what it just did. It almost looked like a
Restarts
BIOS.
the game.
Looks like it restarted
It looked like a
DOSBox,
Yeah.
Oh, so this is running an emulator?
possibly.
That's what
I'm
happens.
glad that most of you haven't seen this game yet, because this is awesome. I have the Fez, but I can actually go behind things now.
He's got his funny little hat on. His little
Yeah.
Shriner's hat,
Yeah.
or whatever those things.
Yeah.
And now the world is in 3D. There's still a problem. And the problem is I have to get these little cubes in this level.
May I have your attention, please? The time is now 8:30 and the library will be closing in 30 minutes at 9 o'clock. Please be advised that the internet will shut down 10 minutes before closing. Thank you.
Shutting down the internet.
So that's Fez.
They're not shutting it down, it's just
Very
gonna
powerful.
shut down.
They have the power.
I'm going to show you one more game here. This is called The Novelist. And what's neat about this game is you are a ghost. Hopefully it'll work. Yes. Worse. Or no. There we go. You're a ghost, and you are trying to help this family who is, the father is off trying to write his novel. They're at this summer home, if you will. They've got about 3 months, I think, in order to finish, for him to finish up his novel. They all have their own thoughts, ideas, feelings, etc. There's 2 modes to play this. One mode is that you cannot be seen by these people. I'm sorry. You need to possess different lamps and whatnot and stay out of sight. Otherwise, they will notice that you are there and bad shit will happen. Or you can play in a different mode, which is you can go pretty much wherever you want to go, and that's fine. So let me start a new game here. I'm going to do the story mode. No. So it's kind of a weird game. It's more of an adult game, but not an adult game in that there's gore or violence or anything like that. It's an adult game in that there's a lot of adult-like themes of, you know, not necessarily getting what you want out of life.
Kids can handle that just fine.
The graphics are nice.
Yeah. Turntable on it?
Yeah.
Oh, the old TV.
So this is written in what, 1973?
Yeah.
Paul, good to hear from you. Listen, things are taking a little longer than expected. I feel good about this one, but I haven't quite brought some of the threads together.
Anyways,
It's just an
you
execution.
get to read these different things to their house. Remember, you're not necessarily an active participant in their lives, you're just observing.
It's not realistic because there's not socks laying on the floor.
Well, they just
Stuff on the
got it
table.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, laundry on
Yeah.
the kitchen table and dishes in the sink.
It's way too clean.
Oh yeah,
Could be paper everywhere.
stuff
Yeah,
stacked
but I
on
just wrote
stuff.
that. Writer's block. There, again. Those 2 words are apparently the only damn thing I can write. I don't think it's been.
Well, at least he ain't writing, all work and no play.
Yeah. Oh, here he is.
Oh.
It's translucent.
When you get behind him, and you can actually go into his mind, explore his memories.
Exit memory. I have that problem.
So let me go over
Erase
here.
his memory.
You can't necessarily erase his memory. Again, you're just a participant. Or not, you're not necessarily a participant, you're just an observer at this point.
Yeah.
Do you think coming here will help?
It has to.
There you go.
Here we go. Hey, check this out. Having fun?
What are you trying to do?
Hey, bud.
You're trying to keep these folks together and try and uncover what's making them not.
Spending too much time at games.
What's keeping them from achieving what they want.
Nice view.
If you're not participating, how can you do that?
Well, I haven't gotten that far yet. I just bought this game
Ah,
a little while ago.
This.
So that's called The Novelist. It's very cool. If you like, you're a little more depth. You don't need a whole lot of twitch.
that looks more than my type
Exactly.
of game than a lot of the ones that are out there.
Like,
This is running on the Steam engine.
this is running under Linux on this laptop, which is Ubuntu 12.04. I'm using Steam. Actually, that game is part of. If you go to the Humble Bundle sale right now, it's on sale for like $3.74. Not that I would know, but You can pick that up and you can download it with or without Steam. You don't necessarily have to have Steam. It's just, for me, it's my preferred way of getting my games.
Steam does automatic updates.
Pardon? Yeah, it does automatic updates and such.
If I'm using Steam, you're supporting the Steam engine, environment, et cetera also.
Yep. Do one last one here.
Uh-oh. I don't know.
This is a time sink.
I think it's a plant select gaming.
They're all the time sync.
Yeah, but this is an amazing time sink. This is one of those ones that you give your wife around Christmas time, and you start hearing the sound like of working all the time because she's just playing it over and over and over again. It's an amazing game. Quick tutorial.
We need to wrap it up pretty soon.
So you're on you're controlling a ship out into space. And I'm just going to whip through this real quick. Oh crap! There's a fire, or the engines are critical.
Ready?
So you like this dude, and you say,
Better beam yourself out of there.
So you select him.
You check the work core.
Repair guy?
Yep, they can both repair. It's Sims in space. Alright. Some systems can be manned by crew members. Oh crap, there's a fire.
Dangerous. Yeah.
So what you can do is you can quell the fire by opening the airlock so then all the oxygen escapes in the room. Or you can be like me the first time you go around and open this door and spread the fire throughout the entire ship.
Oops. Hey, you'll never do that again.
Recommend you don't do that.
Kind of like a post-it note in New Hampshire.
I saw the video.
Yeah. I don't know what it floats. Yeah, maybe.
Flying out the back.
Fire into subsystems. On pause.
Well, the basket
Anywho.
detached from the balloon and then they fell.
Yes, Sims in space. Very cool. There's also one that I didn't get put on here. Let's see if I can take that here. There's other ones as well, like Kerbal Space Program, which is you run your own space program. Literally, you run your own space program. You try and figure out how to get your little Kerbal dudes up to the moon and other sort of things, and it's very cool. So, to recap, Linux gaming has come a very long way. It is no longer the handful of games that you feel like you have to buy. Now there is a plethora of things out there that you can pick up. A lot of different tastes out there. If you like strategy type games, there's Europa Universalis, there's Crusader Kings. At some point, and I'm not sure when this is going to happen, but oh my god, I will be so happy, Beyond Earth, which is the civilization in space.
Oh.
The prequel, if you will, to Alpha Centauri, which was an amazing game. Totally looking forward to that one. Cool. That's going to be fun. Any questions, concerns? Yes?
So what kind of system requirements do you have for these games usually?
Like I said, this is a very low power machine. Most of them, I'm not entirely sure what the minimum requirements are. I think they'll tell you what the minimum requirements are, at least for the PC versions. pretty much the beefier the better. You want a video card at least that can handle 3D graphics really well. NVIDIA cards are usually a pretty good bet on that. And of course, it's one of those things that as much money as you want to spend, I'm sure that we'll take care of it for you. Yes?
Just a video card that runs through the lake.
That is a video card that is capable of doing a lot of these games.
Cool.
All right, I think we kind of need to
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because we
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
closing business.